Story appears ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is a story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Hello and welcome to CoreTV Primetime News. I am Ebulomo Adekunle in a major story. Senate fails to agree on President Goodluck Jonathan's request for another extension of emergency rule in Adamawa, Borno, and Yobe states. Also in this program, Edwin Clark, other prominent Nigerians want full-scale emergency rule for Adamawa, Borno, and Yobe states. Ekiti lawmakers trade blame over Monday's row at the House of Assembly. Police kill attackers who murdered worshippers at a Jerusalem synagogue in Israel. And now the details. The Senate has confirmed the appointment of Justice Mahmood Mohammed as the new Chief Justice of Nigeria. He is to replace outgoing CJN Mariam Aloma Mukhtar, who is retiring on November 20th when she attains the mandatory retirement age of 70 years. Mohammed was led into the Senate chamber by the outgoing CJN to take questions from senators in the chamber.
There is nothing preventing the president of the government to appoint Chief Justice of Nigeria from any wire in the country, from any group of legal position. That is what is in the Constitution. That is what is in the Constitution. So there's nothing to worry about that. It is so because of the tradition that was inherited, and also because of seniority is part and parcel of the legal position. Part and parcel of the legal position. And then that's what is happening regarding. That's what is being applied. The files of the appointment of the Chief Justice of Nigeria is concerned. Because there is hierarchy of judicial officers. Now, in each court, seniority counts. Seniority counts. And that's what is part of legal profession. There's nothing wrong with that. Because all struggle to divorce the past, even when you are born in slavery, the one born before is your senior.
Is there anybody who must ask a question? Take a bow and look at them.
The Senate has failed to agree on President Jonathan's request for another extension of emergency rule in Adamawa, Borno, and Yobe states after several hours of discussions behind closed doors. However, the Senate resolved to meet again on Wednesday to sort out knotty issues identified by senators opposed to a further 6 months of emergency rule in the 3 states affected by Boko Haram insurgency. Announcing the outcome of the closed-door session, Senate President David Marks simply said discussions would continue on the next legislative day. But a number of legislators from the affected areas told journalists that after the meeting that the situation is now worse than before the first emergency rule proclamation. Meanwhile, some prominent Nigerians led by elder statesman Edwin Clark are demanding that President Goodluck Jonathan declares a full-scale emergency rule in all 3 northeastern states ravaged by Boko Haram. Members, Congress for Equality and Change said at a news conference in Abuja that it would be better to appoint military administrators for the states rather than extend the state of emergency. The call is coming a day after Jonathan sought to extend emergency rule in Adamawa, Borno and Yobe states for the 3rd time since May last year. Paya Samuel has the details.
Following the upsurge in Boko Haram activities in the northeast, these elder statesmen have taken a position which they think will bring the crisis to an end. Not many of them had believed that the activities of the Islamic sect will rise to this level. But now they say the government should do the needful to stop Boko Haram.
The relenting upsurge of terrorist acts and resurgence of suicide bombers that continue to claim the lives of innocent Nigerians. The meeting, while deeply feeling the pains of innocent Nigerians who have become victims of the unfortunate terrorist crisis, viewed the operational tactics to call on President Goodluck Jonathan, GCFR, to declare a full-scale state of emergency in the states of Adamawa, Yobe, and Borno, to bring to an end the intractable activities of the insurgents. To this end, the meeting recommends the appointment of military administrators to take charge of the affected states, to call on the Nigerian Armed Forces to adopt more effective tactics aimed at curtailing and ending the activities of the insurgents and to preserve the image and dignity of the armed forces.
This is one position that many Nigerians, especially those in the opposition, are opposed to because of fears that it could confer some advantage on the PDP. But these influential leaders say the major consideration should be on pushing out the insurgents from the territories they seized in recent weeks.
All we are saying is that there should be a total state of emergency, not only in Adamawa, Yobe, and Borno, where a senior military or retired military officer will be appointed until the war is over, who will be communicating with Mr. President directly, and not through a state governor. That's what we are saying about.
The group also does not seem bothered with the presence of a strong opposition party and the problem it poses for the second-term bid of President Jonathan. It is, however, concerned over recent utterances by APC leaders, which they described as unpatriotic.
The reckless utterances of the opposition APC party, which tactics of attempting to profit from a national calamity, shows despicable height of insensitivity and lack of patriotism. To call on the opposition political parties, particularly the APC, to be much more civilized and patriotic in their approach to articulating on public issues, where such issues border on national interest, security, and national unity. No party in power would be spared the agony and pains of the current terrorism Nigerians are faced with, except, of course, only if you are an apologist or a sympathizer or a sponsor.
As the 2015 election inches closer, this group of influential leaders have left no doubt about where their allegiance stands. They, however, want less of inflammatory utterances that could further hit the polity. They also want the military authorities to adopt more effective tactics to stop the rampaging insurgents. Pius Samuel, CoreTV News, Abuja.
Nobel laureate Wole Soyinka has described efforts by the federal government at rescuing the abducted Chibok girls and approach to the fight against Boko Haram as poor. Soyinka, who spoke at the 28th convocation ceremony of the University of Ibadan, admonished the federal government to do more in order to stop embarrassing the nation.
We're sitting here under a cloud of a sense of impotence, of déjà vu, of what you might say, of a calamity that was not without notice, and whose myriad causes are quite discernible. This cloud is made up, as I said, of a sense of humiliation. We sent our children out on an errand, and they did not come back. The errand on which we send them is what we are celebrating today. This is what creates this festive atmosphere. But our protagonists are your protagonists. When, on that errand, we gather them together in preparation for this day, and they never came back. It is something we cannot allow ourselves to forget. The arts, whatever. We're dealing with the monstrosities that repudiate even the pursuit of all these echelons towards the enlightenment of the mind. Yet, had a leadership which kept saying, oh, please talk to us. Let us negotiate. Talk to us. What do you want? What is it you need? We will supply it to you. Come to the table. You've been offended. We'll try and make amends. Please forgive and forget.
The Ekiti State House of Assembly saga is not likely to end anytime soon. The APC lawmakers in the state spoke late Monday night to condemn the act of their PDP counterparts. The state government, speaking through its information machinery, also denies the involvement of Governor Fayose in the row and maintains that the act of the PDP lawmakers is in the best interest of the Ekiti people. Rashid has more.
The relationship between members of the once united House has turned to a cat-and-mouse game. APC lawmakers led by the Speaker, who spoke late Monday night outside Ado-Ekiti, condemns the Monday sitting, even as the state government insists that whatever transpires in the House is for the overall interest of Ekiti people.
We needed to pass those 3 commissioners in the interest of Ekiti State. We are not looking at passing the commissioners wholesale. We are looking at what is in the best interest of the state, because the last government has plunged the state into so much financial mess.
As far as we are concerned, there was no sitting, and as a result of that, the sitting was illegal, and whichever action they might have carried out are illegal.
The state government tenaciously holds that a quorum of 10 members of the House was formed during the sitting, a position punctured by the APC, which claimed the 19-member APC is still intact in the House.
There were 10 members of the House of Assembly. As a member of the former Ondo State House of Assembly, I know that the quorum is 9, and I saw 10 people in that House of Assembly yesterday because I was there.
There was impersonation. If there were 10 people there actually, it means there were 7 honorable members and 3 imported thugs that joined them.
The Speaker and his APC colleagues are, however, spoiling for war, even as the state government denies any involvement in the row ravaging the state legislature.
It's an affair of the State House of Assembly. The governor has no hand in it. He is not a personal beneficiary of any of the actions.
Sitting was an illegal sitting because, one, they did not even form quorum. And whatever we are going to do, you'll be hearing from us.
With both parties gunning for each other's throats, the last of this supremacy battle appears yet to be seen. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado-Ekiti.
Nigeria's leading opposition party, the All Progressives Congress, has inaugurated a 22-man National Convention Committee headed by former Ekiti State Governor Kayode Fayemi. The committee, which was inaugurated by party chairman John Odige Oyego, also has representatives of all the presidential aspirants as non-voting members. Speaking at the brief event in Abuja, the APC chairman said the Fayemi-led committee would set out to prove that the party is the home of internal democracy. He also describes the committee chairman as a man of integrity.
You have at least about 3-5 other names, and in our discussions before we came in here, it was agreed that His Excellency Alhaji Kawu Baraje should act as deputy to our chairman here for this exercise. So the ball is in your court. The party has put in your hands one of the most critical assignments in the process towards our providing and producing the next president of this great nation.
This is an assignment that is onerous, that is going to be tasking, that is going to require all of our human effort to deliver to the standards that are expected of a party that is a party in waiting for the presidency of Nigeria. Mr. Chairman, when you informed me that I was going to be saddled with this responsibility alongside my other colleagues, I wanted to duck under that biblical saying that if this were to be a poison chalice, it should be removed from my side. But then I know this is actually a very, very important assignment. And it is an assignment that will set us apart from those who are Democrats and those who are monarchists.
The complaints that have matched the ongoing voters' registration exercise has again reared its ugly head. It is the turn of residents of Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, this time around as the demand for an immediate extension in order to be fully registered. Olajumoke Olatunji was there to monitor the exercise and brought back this report.
In the Warden area of Abeokuta, pregnant women, nursing mothers and the aged who could not cope with the stress became tired, blaming the situation on improper and shady conduct of exercise by INEC.
The only thing that we are facing where the INEC doesn't have enough logistics in terms of their machine that they brought here. For example, because we have a lot of crowds that have been coming since the inception when we started the program. But we have high numbers of newly registered people. What we are appealing to the INEC now is if they can still give us some little days.
We have started the registration here. One machine that given to us here is not enough for the large number of people that are staying in this ward.
Attempts to get INEC's reaction on the development was rebuffed by an official of the electoral body, Father on CBC, who said there was an order from above directing them not to speak to the press. The situation is now different at Reverend Kuti's compound as residents angrily lament their long stay on the queue.
The INEC official represented in each poll, they are not enough for the people that are coming.
The issue is that I want to appeal to INEC to give us more, another maybe 2 days, another 2 days. Maybe some people that don't register, but they can register.
The system is just only one, and which is not supposed to be so. And it's supposed to be more than 2 or 3 because the population is too much. If they continue using one, it's going to get to us. People will start wounding themselves, fighting.
Some have been here since 5:30, 6, 7, 8. So, as in, okay, 4. We've been on this queue since morning. We haven't gone inside. As in, they're even picking people inside. And that system is faulty.
Ogun State INEC Head of Operations, Samuel Ogunjemilo, however, promised the Commission will address all complaints within 24 hours and make sure everyone is registered.
Equipment, we have enough equipment outside working. Even where we discover that the crowd is much, we deploy as to 2-3 machines to such places. But you just discover that our people, there are even a lot of people that they don't have any business in being at that center. Yes, there is one local government, that is Imekwafon.
So when
we have taken up their case with our headquarters in Abuja, and they are sorting things out to print those cards and where the CVR will take place. It's only when we distribute their card that we can have where we will have the CVR, and we know that a definite day will be fixed for this.
Though the exercise was originally slated to end on Wednesday, political observers are of the opinion the INEC may further extend the registration following the massive complaints. Olajumoke Olatunji, CoreTV News, Abeokuta.
No, I'm not.
Thank you, Olajumoke. The Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria arrests over 30 quack doctors. Find out more after this timeout. Don't go away.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Professor.
My former students.
Happy birthday.
Every day, life is made better by the moments of surprise we create for others and for ourselves. Be better. Surprise someone this season and make sure to text 11 to 400 to get a surprise from MTN. MTN, everywhere you go.
Lagos, get ready to experience a roller coaster beyond what you knew about Fuji.
That's right.
K1 Live Unusual Concert. It's Fuji Redefined by the king of Fuji himself, King Wasiu Ayinde Marshall, the ultimate. With breathtaking performances from Lagbaja, Tubaba, Victor Laya, DJ Jimmy Jat, Olamide, Sasha P, Honeybee, and many more. K1 Live Unusual, 21st of November at the Eco Hotel Convention Center. Hosted by King of Comedy, Alibaba, and Comedy by Bucci. Red carpet starts at 7 p.m. Tickets 10,000. Premium table 1 million. VIP table 2 million. Stakes box 5 million.
Think you can handle it?
Tickets available at Niger Ticket Shop outlets in the Hotel and Suites, Silverbed Cinemas in VI, Ikeja City Mall and Ozone Cinema in Yaba, or online at NigerTicketShop.com. For table bookings, call 09025 K1 Live or 0902 551 5483. Email glproductions@sodiumng.com. Supported by Lagos State Government, LASA, Beat, Niger, Classic FM, Hip TV, Ray Power, Kenny's Music, Prime Time, BHM, Mega Screen, and EEC. K1 Live Unusual.
Get down.
Fuji Redefined.
Thank you for being there. You're still watching CoreTV Primetime News, and here is a quick reminder of some of our major stories. Senate fails to agree on President Goodluck Jonathan's request for another extension of emergency rule in Adamawa, Borno, and Yobe states. Edwin Clark, other prominent Nigerians want full-scale emergency rule for Adamawa, Borno, and Yobe states. Ekiti lawmakers trade blame over Monday's row at the House of Assembly. You can also reach us on a social media platform. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/CoreTV News. Our Twitter handle at CoreTV News NG. And on YouTube, youtube.com/CoreTV with a space, then news. A legal practitioner, Monday Ubani, and a public affairs analyst, Yinka Odumake, have commended the federal government over the proposed austerity measures in the face of the downturn in the prices of crude oil around the world. They welcomed the development as a good initiative and stressed that inability to quickly curtail economic wastes could go as far as mortgaging the future of the country.
The political elites live in luxury. They live in opulent, what they call opulent, obscene wealth. They enjoy pleasure, If you see when they are going on the road, you see how many cars that are following them. You see how many security agencies that are following them, including an ambulance, in case, even doctors following them in case they fall sick along the way. So this issue of luxury, to a political elite, to the detriment of the masses, has always been there.
Now what's happening now, the drop in oil prices, is a rude awakening that every day is not Christmas, and that plenty can become empty. So if we do not understand how to tighten our belts, to diversify and begin to look at other areas of getting resources rather than living on oil receipt, we cannot make it. There's no country that has made great wealth by doing this rentier economy that we're doing, just collecting oil rents.
The Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria says it has arrested over 30 quack doctors and sanctioned 122 medical practitioners to date. It also wants the federal government to tread softly on constant dissolution of the council, especially as it has in the last 15 years affected its ability to properly regulate medical and dental practice in the country. The leadership of the council spoke at an event marking the 51st anniversary of the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria in Abuja.
Medical practitioners currently has over 70,000 registered practitioners, from as little as about 1,000 in 1963. Since 2011, Council has instituted and enforced the Continuing Professional Development Program, which has come to stay. In the area of discipline of practitioners, Council has investigated over 1,550 complaints and have sanctioned 122 practitioners to date.
Your guess is as good as mine as to the consequences of these frequent dissolutions of council. That is not done with the law people. Our plea remains the same, and it is simple. We should be allowed to do the job assigned to us without frequent disruptive dissolutions. This council, through its chairman, communicated this our humble plea to the Honorable Minister of Health on 18 February 2014.
As the year draws to a close, the Federal Road Safety Corps in Lagos says motorists must steer clear of alcohol to avoid vehicular accidents that are common at this time of the year. Oluwaseyi Adegoke was at the FRSC awareness campaign against drinking while driving at the Agege Motor Park in the state. Her report.
As a move to guard against the frequent accidents that occur towards the end of the year, the Federal Road Safety says it will continue to inform road users on what to do to avoid them, especially drinking while driving. State Sector Commander Iginos Omeje says it is vital to inform people of what can help minimize the risk of road crashes at this time of the year.
For the past 7 years, we have carried on this campaign of
don't drink and drive in major motor parks in Lagos and other city centers of the country. And well, it's yielding positive results, even as there is still more distance to cover in the sense of compliance. Because these days we've discovered that, okay, you don't get to see the bottled alcoholic beverage being sold openly now, but they have repackaged it in another form. You now have it in sachets, and we are also tackling that issue of drinking it in sachets. That an average driver you now see licking something you think is an ice cream or something of that sort, but that thing is licking, is just containing alcoholic beverages like Chelsea. So we have been tackling it in most motor parks. Well, there have been compliance, I said, but there is still more work to be done.
A medical doctor, Oluchikama Okafo, while speaking at the awareness rally, advised drivers to avoid all types of alcoholic drinks while driving.
As they should work. The person will work less or a little bit less than what they should to bring out. Now, what does the alcohol in the brain do to driving? When a person is driving and the person has alcohol in their brain, what does it do? It depresses the brain. It causes lack of concentration. It prevents the person from being able to make quick and rapid decisions.
Chairman of the National Union of Road Transport Workers, Agege Motor Park, Fatai Alimi, thanked the FRSC for the sensitization, while also confirming that the union has put measures in place to discourage drivers from drinking while driving.
Our lecture, both our executive member and our drivers, both our conductors, about the drink alcoholics, we always advise them to caution himself about drink.
While the car continued with a series of awareness campaigns to help reduce the nation's accident statistics. Oluwaseyi Adegoke, CoreTV News, Lagos.
We'll take another break now and we'll return with business, sports and other stories outside Nigeria. Don't go away.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear Professor.
My former students.
Happy birthday.
Every day, life is made better by the moments of surprise we create for others and for ourselves. Be better. Surprise someone this season and make sure to text 11 to 400 to get a surprise from MTN.
MTN, everywhere you go.
There is an Ebola virus epidemic in some West African countries. The Nigerian government wants you to be aware and watch out against the spread of Ebola in your community. Help keep our country safe and watch out for severe cases of fever, headaches, diarrhea, chest and abdominal pain, sore throat, cough, red eyes and bleeding from the eyes, ears and nose, especially when these symptoms are found in persons coming into Nigeria from other West African countries. Protect yourself. Wash your hands regularly with soap and running water or use a hand sanitizer. Avoid contact with the blood, urine, feces or saliva of animals like bats, monkeys, gorillas, chimpanzees or infected persons. The Ebola virus is deadly. Don't catch it, don't spread it. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information.
And now to business stories. Ogun State Governor Senator Ibukunle Amosun on Tuesday presented a budget of 210.354 billion naira for the fiscal year 2015 before the Ogun State House of Assembly. The 2015 budget stands at 326 million naira above the 2014 approved budget of 210.28 billion naira. The budget's presentation, which is tagged Budgets of Continuity, according to Amosun, would be funded mainly from the internally generated revenue, which currently fluctuates between 5 billion naira and 6 billion naira monthly. It says the rationale for this is that the macroeconomic outlook driven by the global oil prices suggests a contraction in the national economy. Governor Amosun is confident that the state government will be able to maintain its budget size by innovatively growing internally generated revenue despite the fall in global oil prices. A member of the Association for the Emancipation of Rights of Small-Scale Industrialists, Haliru Muhammad, says 97% of the nation's economy could be determined by taxation. Muhammad, who made the assertion in an interview with journalists in Kano on Tuesday, said taxation plays a very crucial role in the development of the Nigerian economy. He says taxation serves as a source of employment generation and innovation, as well as economic consolidation, which alleviates poverty and enhances national growth. According to him, taxes are still considered as a voluntary contribution and not an obligation, in spite of its being imposed by the government on personal income earners, companies, importers, exporters and investors. Mohammed, however, called on the federal government for full implementation of the nation's tax laws and policies to enhance the nation's revenue and economic growth. The Nigerian Port Authority's NPA has announced the arrival of 58 ships laden with various commodities at the seaport in Lagos between Tuesday and December 5, in its daily shipping position made available to newsmen on Tuesday in Lagos. NPA said 21 of the ships were laden with containers and would be received at the APM terminals. According to it, 13 other ships will come in with food items, while 12 ships will convey general cargo into the port. It states that 2 of the vessels had used vehicles as consignment, while 10 ships would bring in petroleum products such as petrol, kerosene, aviation fuel, diesel, bulk gas and bulk coal. Equity transactions on the Nigerian Stock Exchange on Friday ended on a negative note. The NSE All-Share Index appreciated by 1.67% to close at 34,896.50 basis points. Market capitalization closed in the same manner at 11.5 trillion naira. In all, a total of 179.8 million units of shares valued at 2.2 billion naira were exchanged in 3,962 deals. Total PSC topped the gainers chart, followed by Owando, USC, Properties, Berger Paint and Port Paint. On the flip side, Dangote Cement topped the losers chart, followed by Flour Mill, Ashaka Cement, WAPCO and Seplat. Meanwhile, here are the top 5 trades. We'll take another break now and return with sports stories. Don't go away.
Der Torschütze zum zwischenzeitlichen 1:1. Semenike schickt Musa, da ist Ahmed Musa und da ist der Ausgleich.
beautiful Saturday evening in the city of Lagos.
Off the turn, Phelps had it, but then Matsui kept going.
Finals. 5 to shoot. Leonard does.
Sports is concerned, and of course, making a difference for all of us here from all our production crew. Thanks for watching the show.
Power style, that's what he delivered. Here's that ball storming, now he takes. Puyol with a flying lead.
Go taking them out in the lead and really.
Thank you for being there. The South African team has already secured a place in the 2015 African Cup of Nations finals, but they head into the final Group A qualifier away to Nigeria on Wednesday evening with a unique opportunity to eliminate the reigning continental champions. Having beaten Sudan 2-1 in Durban on Saturday, thanks to goals from Thulani Serero and Tokelo Ranti, Bafana have booked a ticket to the 2015 AFCON and will also finish top of the qualifying group, regardless of their result in West Africa. However, with Nigeria placed second in the group and level on points with Congo, who are away to bottom of the log Sudan, there is an opportunity for Sharki's Mashaba's team to eliminate the Super Eagles from the competition before it even kicks off in Equatorial Guinea in January. Simply avoiding defeat should do the trick, provided Congo can beat Sudan in Khartoum. This would then see the Central Africans shift up into second place, and Nigeria would in all likelihood not be ranked as the best third-placed team from the group, thereby denying them qualification and ending their reign as African champions. Mashaba has emphasized that he will not allow his players to be complacent for the match in Nigeria, despite already being sure of top spots in the group. The Croatian FA have confirmed that the injury sustained by Real Madrid midfielder Luka Modric will keep him on the sidelines until February. The 29-year-old suffered the blow in the first half of the Euro 2016 qualifier between Italy and Croatia, which ended in a 1-1 draw. Modric was withdrawn and underwent scans upon returning to Madrid, and according to Los Blancos' official site, the results showed a tear to his left thigh muscle. The Croatian FA have now released official communications confirming that the Real Madrid man will face approximately 3 months on the sidelines. Modric is not expected to return to action until next year and thus will miss participating in the upcoming Club World Cup. Olympique de Marseille president Vincent Labrune has been held for questioning amid an investigation into the transfer of French striker André Pierre Gignac, a source close to the probe said on Tuesday. Labrune was being questioned in Marseille with Director General Philippe Perez, while former President Jean-Claude Dacier was being questioned in Nanterre in the Paris suburbs. Investigators are trying to figure out whether club officials took illegal commissions when Gignac was transferred from Toulouse in 2010. Marseille led the Ligue 1 standings after 13 matches, with Gignac having scored 10 goals. Bidding to host the Olympic Games is to be made cheaper and easier, the International Olympic Committee has said. The IOC put together a list of 40 recommendations designed to improve future games. They range from increasing the number of sports to allowing events be held outside the host country or city. The IOC will vote on the proposals at a meeting in Monaco on 8th and 9th December. Other recommendations include women making up 50% of the athletes taking part in the games and capping the number of athletes and coaches. And now to other stories outside Nigeria. 4 Israelis have been killed and 8 injured as 2 men armed with a pistol and meat cleavers attacked a West Jerusalem synagogue. The attackers, who were Palestinians from East Jerusalem, were also shot dead. There have been several deadly attacks and clashes recently in Jerusalem, which has also seen heightened tension over a disputed holy site. Israel has vowed to respond with a heavy hand to the attack, the deadliest in Jerusalem in 6 years. 3 of the victims were dual Israeli-US nationals, while the 4th was a dual Israeli-UK citizen. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu blamed incitement by the militant group Hamas and Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas for the attack. However, Abbas's office issued a statement saying the presidency condemns the attack on Jewish worshippers in their place of prayer and condemns the killing of civilians no matter who is doing it. The Abu Ali Mustafa Brigades, the military wing of the Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine, claimed responsibility for the synagogue attack. And that's it for tonight, but before we go, another look at the stories that made our headlines. We reported that the Senate has failed to agree on President Goodluck Jonathan's request for another extension of emergency rule in Adamawa, Borno, and Yobe states. We also reported that Edwin Clark and other prominent Nigerians have called for full-scale emergency rule for Adamawa, Borno, and Yobe states. Finally, Ekiti lawmakers have been trading blames over Monday's row at the House of Assembly. And that's been the show. On behalf of the entire news crew, I am Ebolomo Adekunle, wishing you a pleasant night rest.